Hi, you guys. Good evening. Samantha Lee here from Soul Pathways. Doing my daily check-in, and I know it's evening on the 4th of June. Like I said yesterday, I don't know that I'll be doing a routine of any kind, but I will try to get in every single day to do a little something. So yesterday I was telling you guys and introducing to you basically what I wanted to try to aim for with these little talks. Basically giving you answers, helping you to heal, to remove blocks, to bring truth, to share love, to share wisdom, to bring you freedom. This is basically love and light given to you in a space that has been cleansed, from a heart that is wide open, from somebody who's been doing this her whole life. I have been on this journey my entire life, infinite lifetimes. So basically every day I'll come on, and that's what I'll do. I hope that each one of you had a wonderful day today. Wherever you are, I hope that it was a good day. Cleanse this space a little more. I have a candle lit here. I have several gems, stones out. A candle with salt for protection for myself. I have Archangel Michael here. I have Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Gabriel. Divine Mary is here. Divine Mother. Thank you. I also have my ancestor, my great-grandmother, many times removed. She hates that I say that, but she is literally a great-grandmother with many, many, many greats in front of her name. But I love her like she is just my grandmother. And so when I say my great-grandmother, she is, I'm Native American. I am Chippewa Indian, and all my gifts run on my paternal side of my family, and I've been a shaman, a medicine woman or man. I've been a healer in many lifetimes. I have ancient bloodline and lots of gifts here when it comes to that. Nevertheless, she's here with me. She's got a little basket with her full of herbs, and she's been busy today collecting. She's into, when she was here, she was the medicine woman. She liked to do the healing work. She just said, I like to put my hands on. So Reiki. And then she would use the herbs for internal, if it was edible, and sometimes external for wounds and things of that nature. Sometimes things aren't physical, though. When we speak to wounds, a lot of the wounds that I'll be covering are not physical, are they? Some of the, you know, I used to say, or I used to think, when I was in a hard situation, I remember when I was younger, quite a few times I thought to myself, it would have just been easier if you would have hit me. Because sometimes the things people would say that hurt me emotionally hurt way more than if they would have just physically hit me, because at least that hit would have smarted for a minute, but it would have went. No, I've been in that place too with the physical being hit. I've been in that abusive relationship with partners, domestic violence. I've even had it within my family. My own father, my mother, my sister, my brother. And yeah, society loves to say, well, that happens in families. That's not normal. I'm sorry. In society, we should not be normalizing hurting the people in our families. That's not normal. We should not be hurting each other. That's not love. Love does not hurt. And especially when it's, and let me just expand a bit before people get too out of sorts, perhaps. Especially when it's comorbid or hitting with when they're intoxicated or when they're high or when they're angry, you know, when that hit is not deserved, you know? I don't know, is it ever deserved? Well, does a kid ever deserve to be smacked to the point where they got bruises? Or even a young adult by an older parent? And yeah, these are topics that are wildly open and can be subjective. But from a person who stood in the shoes of both the hitter, because I used to spank my kid, and then in the spot of being hit, not only was I spanked, but I was full-blown abused. I'd have to say it's never deserved. As adults, we need to get a handle on ourselves and find other meaningful ways to deal with our frustrations and learn ways to handle our children and our teenagers, even as mouthy as they are, because that child that I spanked, and I only spanked him briefly, it was less than a year before I decided I cannot do this. This doesn't work for me. He's now a teenager. And there are days where I just say, instead of punishing you, I'm gonna run away. You know, sometimes I need a break because I'm feeling like I'm gonna lose my own mind. I'm a single parent. So I'm both mom and dad. The challenge is the situation that I'm in even more. Yeah. But I love my kid. And there isn't a thing I wouldn't do for him. Not a thing. So these wounds, wounding, it starts the moment you're born. The very moment you are entered into this world. And these wounds, they come from everywhere, but typically they come from the people closest to you. They affect everything in your life. They can destroy everything in your life. They can take everything from you. And until you, okay, and a lot of people don't recognize it. They're unaware of their own behaviors. And unless you are aware of it, to change it, you wind up losing a lot. And you're like, God, that's like the 18th relationship I've lost. Why am I so unable to hold down a relationship? These are the people that are in therapy forever. Or these are the people that have addiction issues or other problems because they're brought on by some form of trauma that happened early on that never was dealt with. And that trauma created the wounding, internal, can't see it because it's mental, it's emotional, and it wasn't expressed outwardly to heal it. So it festered. And as it festered, it, like cancer, it like clung to your life, and it started destroying everything, because everything starts to, you build your life around this new paradigm, this new way of being. For example, when a baby is born, we all see it in the movies. When a baby's born, they come out and they're crying, they're screaming. Typically, they're screaming. They're covered with gook. And the mom's like, "Give me my kid. She's freaking exhausted. But she wants her child. She must have that baby. She's in love. That's her baby. She wants to hold that baby. She must see, analyze, kiss, hug, look at these toes, look at these fingers, check the ears, the nose, look in the eyes. The eyes are really important. If dad's there, dad's got to get looked too. Dad's got to attach. This moment is super important for child and mother and father bonding. For those who don't know, before I continue, I've got a master's in counseling with a specialization in alternative medicine and therapies, so I do know child psychology. So this period of time is attachment. They're forming a bond. It's the first moments of life. This baby who felt and knew its mom just solely by the heartbeat, by the breathing. Mom would sing and rub, and it would kick and move. Mom might play music or read a story to it or whatever. It knew mom. They were already bonding. You know, when baby comes out, baby's like, I want mom, mom, and mom wants baby. It's usually a wonderful, beautiful union, and a much needed one, because that is a powerful moment for a baby in terms of learning about the value of trust in other people. That bond with mom says, I can trust you. You're there for me. I love you. And they see you. What they see is a big blob, but they know your mom, and the other big blob is some guy that they have probably heard your voice if you put your face up to the stomach and you talked over and over to that stomach, as you've seen that it's kicked and you have interacted. So the moral of the story is an important moment, and without it, there is a distinct disconnect within that child, and a level of attachment and trust within not only maybe itself, but within relationships, that its needs are going to be met, because there was no bonding that happened. So babies that's why they take the baby and give it to mom right away, and dad, because it's been proven that needs to happen. They can't just haul the baby away. They got to give that baby to mom and dad so they can have that time in that initial, because it's very traumatic coming out. It's like warm, 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 cold, 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 very loud, lots of sounds, lots of lights. They were in this dark amniotic fluid, and now they're and it's just crazy. So this little guy, this little girl, they want to be comfort, and they need that. They have to have that. It is like the initial rite of passage. Well, when I was born in 19 whatever, it doesn't matter. You guys know my age. You know, my mom had been told initially, you know, she had my sister 4 years prior. She had been told coming up to me that I was going to be a boy. They even named me Samuel after my grandfather. Samuel candidly. And they had told her something like, they gauged it upon the height of the stomach or something. And so when I arrived and I had come out and I was crying, and it was time for me to attach to my mother, and, well, my father wasn't present at the time. My mother, she was very disappointed that I wasn't a boy, and she wanted nothing to do with me. And she would not touch me, she would not hold me, and she waved me off, and they put me in a crib. And I sat in a crib and I cried. And I cried until I went silent, is what I'm told. And what I'm getting from my guides is that I learned that my needs wouldn't be met. Now, that was my first wounding, and it happened the moment I was born. It's called a mother wound. Abandonment. I was abandoned from the, no, rejection, excuse me. I was rejected. And from that rejection, I learned to mistrust relationships, that people would ever meet my needs, that I could only rely on me, ever. And that was 47 years ago. Crazy, huh? So, talk about a bee to heal. I've worked on that, and it is healed. But it is not one that I haven't had to. Sometimes these are cyclical, especially with trust. When you get in a relationship and they fail. I have been in several of those. I have to go back through and I have to renew and update and reheal. So, when I say to you this, we can heal a wound, sure. You and I can give you a way forward. I can say, yeah, let's do A, B, and C. This is how I did it. And it worked. I'm also going to put in there this. Nothing is permanent. Nothing. Just nothing. Because yesterday, like I said yesterday, life is not static, it's fluid. Energy is fluid, it's constantly shifting and changing. And as we shift and change and make decisions and enter and exit relationships and move and make changes within our lives, we can do things that disrupt all the healing work we have done, and it could become upended, and we could wind up needing to redo it. That's why, kind of like the grieving process, the 5 stages of death and dying, Kubler-Ross, I consider healing very similar in spiral. I don't think healing is a linear process from A to B. It's not physical. You are not healing a cut or an abrasion. You're healing an energetic wounding. You're healing a spiritual wound. And you're probably thinking, well, this is like emotional too. This is mental. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But we're on a spiritual journey. And here's how you're going to know the difference. If you're wanting to heal your wounds so that okay, let me restart this, rephrase it. You want to heal your wounds because they're blocking you from forward movement on your spiritual journey towards some goal you're trying to reach on your path. And you feel blocked. You know you're blocked. When you meditate, you can see the block. Like last week in meditation, I was literally in meditation and I came to a wall in my meditation. And I called in Archangel Michael. I was very frustrated. I said, what's this? He said, this is your heart and it's blocked. I said, oh my God, tell me how to get rid of this. He said, start forgiving. And I started forgiving everyone and everything until and it wasn't crumbling. He took me up to the top and it was a wall I had built around my heart that was higher than Mount Everest, even higher. It went high. It went outside the atmosphere of Earth. I had built this wall all the way outside into outer space so nobody on Earth could get into my heart. I was that upset with a certain individual that I blocked out all of Earth. And I didn't even know I did it. That was the fun part, and typically we don't. We don't know we do it, but there are physical signs. You can start seeing that your flow, your inward flow and flux of abundance tapers off and diminishes completely. You can see that your energy level is one of those items, and it is low. You can see that where once you used to attract a lot of conversations with other people, you don't, because your vibration is lower. So these blocks on your spiritual journey, they're what's going to keep you. The other way to tell, so here's that spiritual. If it's not spiritual, you're going to know because you're just wanting to do it to feel better. And you're just wanting to do it for your mental health because you've got to go to work, because it's destroying your marriage, because it makes you feel like crap. And it has nothing, and you're not a spiritual person. I mean, that's how you're going to know the difference. Usually a spiritual person, when it comes to these things, it's going to have a lot to do with their spirituality and their spiritual journey and their goals within it. So, believe it or not, we're at 29 minutes already. Wounding. You can't always see them, but they're there. Healing. Not permanent. It's a spiral. Sometimes you take 2 steps forward, only to take 5 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 5 steps forward, 3 steps back. We're not all on the same path either. We all heal different. Everybody's unique. Everybody's got a different path. So we can't judge one another about how we heal. We all heal different. Some of us are super healers. Others of us take our time. Some of us don't know how to heal and need help. And we judge nobody. Why? We love all people. And I love you. If you've made it this far, if you haven't clicked off, you're meant to be here. And I thank you for it. Thank you for your support, for your love. I love you. And I'll be back tomorrow at some point, and we'll continue moving forward. Just know you matter. You really do. That's the truth of it. All of this is for you. Yeah, all of this is for you. Because whatever you work on, whatever you transform and heal within yourself, you can pay it forward. You can powerfully affect your own life, but others as well. That's what it's all about after all anyway, right? Yeah. Nothing but love for you. Thank you for showing up if you stayed this long. No, I love you. Talk to you tomorrow. You have a blessed evening. Till that time, you take care. Be well. And do good things.